What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV with a post-match fan show where we hope it's going to work. So it should be all good. Yeah, I'm sure they can hear us. Let's see if we can hear the people in the background. Look, it wasn't pretty. We know that. We know we're missing a lot of players.
Yep.
Obviously, Richarlison, Kulusevski, Bentancur. Now, obviously, Basuma's injured. So, yeah, look, there's 4 players there that are injured straight away. We obviously rested a lot of players, the whole back line pretty much. Or it was the whole back line. So, look, and obviously Fraser Forster, there was only 3 players that stayed from the Palace win. So, look, it wasn't pretty, but we got the result. And sometimes that's all that matters. I think we need to remember what we want to do here. We know we need reinforcements. We know that it's not pretty, but hey, come on, let's just say, look, as Wolves FI has just put in the comments, we're 5 wins away from lifting the FA Cup. So yeah, so look, that is the kind of stark reality. We know we need to play better, and hopefully, and we know all the stats. Kulusevski, when he's in the team, when he's not in the team, the goal ratio, the chances, and everything else. But look, it's a win. We're into the hat for the next round. We don't have to worry about a replay, which would be in an already congested January. Ashmatics, your thoughts on reflection after we've kind of had time to digest.
At the end of the day, we all know Spurs aren't the best team when it comes to breaking a team down when they have 2 backs of 4 or back of 5. We find it typically hard to break teams down if they sit in their own half, if they park the bus. And we don't have too many players that can, beat a man, dribble, do one-on-ones. So we're always going to struggle. And we're more of a transitional kind of counter-attacking team, and we hit the teams to break. So we knew when Portsmouth came here and they never had a lot of the ball, we had 70% plus of possession, and we're always going to find it difficult, especially with our situation with our wing-backs at the moment. It goes without saying, we've struggled this season with our wing-backs, with them getting forward, trying to add some more attacking flair. In terms of scoring, when teams want us to cross, because it's easy to defend. And we saw that today. We saw a lot of crosses, we saw a lot of joy on the left-hand side, and it resulted in the Portsmouth being able to defend quite easily. Saying that, I'll throw a question to you, my friend, my honourable friend. What type of player do you think Spurs need?
I think, I think it was blatantly obvious. Portsmouth put 11 players behind the ball and there was a lack of creativity. I think, we've been crying out for that creative midfielder. Obviously the names of like Maddison, that type of player. And I think, look, we know what we need in terms of the defence, in terms of the wing backs, right wing back, left wing back. Obviously we've got Perisic, but we need, Udogie to come back for, next season. Someone to replace Dyer and play alongside on the left centre back. So we know what we need in defence, but I think that we do miss that creativity. Obviously in terms of Eriksen, we never replaced Eriksen. Like we never replaced Bale, we never replaced Walker, we never replaced Dembele. There was always those games when we were going up against teams that were putting 11 behind the ball. I remember watching a game when we beat Brighton 1-0 at home. Eriksen scored from the edge of the area, 85th, 86th minute.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was amazing. He's done that many times. Like Palace, he's done it against Chelsea.
Yeah, and I think, look, that's what we're missing. I think that creativity, and obviously we've seen where Richarlison is injured, Kulusevski's injured. We can't rest Son and Kane. Or Conan Sane, as I was about to say. Because there is no one to come in. I mean, obviously, there's the option of playing Perisic up on the left-hand side where he plays for Croatia. But obviously he had a rest today. He's had a busy schedule. But yeah, we just need, I think it's right, where we need those reinforcements. It is the creative midfield. It is that, that attacking option with the injuries. But you can't plan for injuries, right? So we do know we need what we need in defence, but for me, we need to be creative. We need more creativity.
We play a double pivot and today it was Skip came in because Basuma got injured. We don't know the extent of the injury at the moment or how serious it is, if he's going to be involved in the North London derby. Hopefully it was a minor issue and he'll be back in training and he'll be able to at least be on the bench or be an option. But Skip started today, and my question to everyone, especially in the comments as well, what does Skip bring that Basuma or Højbjerg or Ben 10 brings? Do you know what I mean? Like, what does Skip offer anything different is what I'm asking. Is there can we upgrade on Skip? Do you think he's good enough to be a Spurs player? Obviously, last season he was different to how he is now, but we've seen enough of him this season as well. I know he's come in off the back of an injury, but he seemed fairly fit today. But we haven't improved in midfield, I feel, slightly. We've got Papi Matar now. Does Sarr start ahead of Skip for you, or does Skip warrant that position where he's in at the moment?
Look, I think before Skip's injury, I think he was probably far and away, ahead of all of these players. But I think Sarr has definitely shown in the last two games he's definitely leapfrogged Skip. Obviously, Bentancur, if he's back, which we all hope for next Sunday. Then you'd hope that obviously it'd probably be Bentancur and Højbjerg that would start. But look, I think Sarr's knocking on the door. Skip's kind of fallen down the pecking order. But we've seen what he did. He went away to Norwich, came back, and until he had those injuries and those unfortunate injuries, he was potentially knocking on the door of getting selected for the England squad.
Is he injury prone? That's a question. I don't know. Is he a player that worries you about his injuries? Because I see Ryan Sessegnon. He's another example. Now, he was a top talent. We spoke about it during the watch-along, how great he was for Fulham, how fast he was. And now he looks quite nervous, personality-wise. And I said to you, I think when a player does his hammy, he never looks the same again. We've seen it with, top players like your Michael Owens. We even saw it with Gareth Bale at Spurs. They kind of pull back out of challenges. They don't run as hard. Do you think with Skip's injuries that's affected him at all? Do you think that's affected him?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's in the back of his mind. You got to think you set, obviously hamstring is a very explosive injury and it's a very painful injury. Obviously, not to compare. I've done my hamstring. I was playing cricket and I'd set off for a run and because it's that explosion, I thought I just strained it, but it took 6 to 8 weeks to recover. And these people are professional athletes, and in the back of their mind, they have to have that explosion. They have to have that. And for him, for Cess,
even down to Richarlison. Richarlison had an injury for hamstring as well. And
does it come? But then, do you look at is it the players injury prone? Is it the training that's the issue? Is it the medical team? I mean, I guess there's a number of factors that you kind of need to look at. And unfortunately, if you look at what happened with Skip before, he had that infection, and then it kept him out for months. So are we diagnosing the problems correctly?
This is another thing, because the medical team's had a lot of spotlight on him. Conte's not been too happy with it. But what I wanted to understand from you guys, what is Skip's strengths? What is his... Because he got an opportunity. He got in a position where he could score. And he absolutely skied it into row Z or row K. I don't know where it went. I thought it was like someone said in the comments.
Like Kane's penalty against France. Yeah. Still going.
It was a bit of an NFL moment there. I know we've got NFL underneath us, but I don't know if he turned up for the wrong game. But do we look for a midfielder that has a bit more attacking attributes? Because we've got... Everyone thinks that Spurs have a lot of defensive midfielders, but Conte likes combative midfielder, box to box, and I saw Skip as a box to box personally. I thought that was his bag. But when we did play in a 3-5-2, I think it was, I can't remember what team it was, but he played further forward. And
Yeah.
when he's further forward, I just don't see it.
No, I know you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. But let's get some people on, get their opinions. Let's find out what do they think. And it's the jabroni that's coming on next. It's KPV.
Hello.
Hello, KPV. How are you?
Good.
My homie, what are you telling me, KPV, man? Talk to us.
What are you telling me, my man?
I'm here, my brother. I'm here to bless, man. Yeah.
We can hear you, KPV. That's a start. So
Yeah, what are you telling me, fam? Like, first time win of 2023. Let's can go. First time win. I'll take that. This is the FA Cup.
Can we do it, Kay? Can we get the FA Cup? Can we lift the trophy? Can we bring a trophy home this season? Can Conte do it?
Yeah, of course. He won it in 2018 with the team that is 10th, Chelsea.
in the mud, KPV, yeah?
Yeah, so, yeah, this is our chance. And I take FA Cup over top 4 every day. Danny said it. And give me the FA Cup, man. This
Quick
is something...
question, actually. That's a good point you made. You in the comments as well. FA Cup or top 4? If FA Cup, do you think FA Cup will attract us top players? Or do you think the top 4 will attract us the next level of play that we need to get? I mean, we've been finishing 4th and we've had our chance to kick on, but Leicester have won the FA Cup. They've won a league. Are they in a position to attract top players? Wigan won it. Did they recruit? Is FA Cup? I know Spurs fans are, myself included, are desperate for silverware. But what are we saying? Is it really FA Cup over top 4? What do you think, KPV? You saying FA Cup can we still attract the same players if we're outside the top 4?
Yeah, sure. Like, I want FA Cup, man, because Arsenal won it 14 times. Like, we kept winning it every time before they decided to come over to our place. So, but they're from South London. We're North London. They can just, yeah, stay out of the sight. Like, this is North London, not South. And it's our time. They won it 3 years ago. Like, just, yeah, with Arteta, but they're not winning it for 15 times because that's going to make us even more fuming, and I don't want that happening.
No,
9
no one
times.
does.
This
I
is
agree.
our time. Our time.
KPV, there's been a super chat from Azad Hamid. So, yeah, give us your thoughts. I'll read it out and then you give us your thoughts on it. Sarr needs to start over Højbjerg. What are your thoughts on that, KPV?
Somebody said no.
And our survey says...
Somebody said no. Incorrect. There's no way he starts over Højbjerg, man, because Højbjerg has been a great player this season, and there's no way he's going to start ahead of him. Like, start him and Højbjerg together. Like, the partnership will be immense, but it's Højbjerg Bentancur. But I'd start ahead of Skip, because Skip offers nothing, I'm afraid. So start over Skip. Not Zinedine Salzburg. David calls him. So sorry, Hassan. I would not start over Højbjerg. Start him over Skip though. Then that's all I'm gonna say, kid. But brilliant win today, and now Kane's only one away from leveling it.
Yeah, he's one away. He's one away, KPV. So I was hoping he'd be level today going into the North London derby. So what do you reckon? He scores 2 next Sunday and we win the game?
Yeah, he scores 2 and he'll be above him. But a hat-trick would be nice, then he'll still go above. So imagine a scene, hat-trick in the biggest game. Like, everyone knows what it means to the fans and the club and the players and the bosses. Like, we're at home. Like, if he scores a hat-trick, then the place will be walking. So, hat-trick from Kane, please. And then, you can't ask for anything else. So, bring on the derby. And we're gonna win. They dropped points home to Newcastle, so and Chelsea lost to City, so kind of couldn't ask for more. But focused on ourselves, as you said last season, Barry. We focused on ours, not no one else. So yeah, look forward to Sunday next week, the derby. That's 2 wins on the trot. So hopefully there'll be 3. Then we can go on a good run. Like who says we can't? We've only lost 1 to start, but 2 wins in 2023. That's brilliant. So bring on the North London derby, and but I have to say, like Son can't see the ball wearing the mask. He doesn't
Yeah,
like
I
it.
was going to ask that.
He, I have to agree with him. He can't see it. Like maybe if Holding gets him on his face again, Son's dad's gonna go after him. That's what Ellie said yesterday. So if Holding does start, like I know Arteta's probably gonna do it, but then Holding's gonna get another red card, and so hopefully they get reds. We don't. We've only had one already. That was the derby. Anyway, we lost unfortunately, but home, we're home. We don't want to lose again. Already lost to Villa. That's not going to happen again. So everyone, get behind the team next Sunday. Enjoy. The atmosphere will be walking. I'll be in a pub watching it with the Spurs fans. The atmosphere is probably going to be brilliant in there as well. Getting the beers out. And I'm going 3-0 Tottenham.
Wow,
Kane
no.
KPV. A repeat of last season, yeah?
Yeah,
Jeez. Can you
Kane
imagine?
Kane got 2, Son got 1. So, but yeah, Kane hat trick. I know Son will probably want to score, but yeah, 3-0 please again. And as always, Levy out, everybody else in. Come on, you Spurs. North London is white and forever be white.
Big up KPV.
Big up.
Big up, sir.
Big up Kylie Wiley, boy.
Big up KPV. He's going to go and listen to Who Let the Dogs Out. Speaking of dogs, this next guy is a bit of a... He's like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. Let's get him on and hear what he has to say. It's Stelios.
Stelios. Can't
You're
hear,
on mute, mate. Are you on mute?
can't hear you, bro.
I can't hear you, Stel. Please don't say we've lost the sound.
Please do not swear or shout.
Please,
You are
let's
now
hope
live.
it's you, Stel. This is McDonald's Wi-Fi again.
Yeah, 100%.
We can't hear you, Stel. What are you doing, man? You're killing us.
What do you think? In the comments as well, guys, while we wait for Stel. Oh, we heard him.
We could hear him then.
Oh, he jumped in. I was going to ask, like,
Oh,
he's
we can
back.
hear
He's
you
back.
now,
He's
Stel.
back. He's back. He's back. He's back. Super Stel.
Come on, Stel.
Stellatois.
Crashed.
It's crashing. I can hear that. He said it's crashed.
Can hear you saying it's crashed.
Oh. Oh, no.
All right,
no.
come back, Stel. Come out again and try and come back in again. We'll get the next caller on, and it is Aravind.
Aravind.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good, Aravind. How are you?
Good.
I'm very well, man. Thanks for asking.
I think so. Today's performance was okay, fine. Like nothing great to see. Like it's a League One side against Portsmouth, 12th in the league. So nothing much expected. But yeah, it was fine. I can't find any standout performance. I was expecting more. I thought we will go and win like a 2-0 or 3-0, 4-0. I do against Portsmouth. That's what we need to do. And none of the players excited me a lot.
So we got the job done. It wasn't very exciting, but we're through to the next round.
Basically, ugly win.
yeah,
Ugly.
winning ugly.
Yeah.
Like we have done.
But to be really honest, I expected a lot from our players, like Brian Hill to take a player on and beat.
You don't think he did well, Aravind? You didn't think he played well today? He was underwhelmed by his performance?
I know I'm not saying they not play well, but you expect Spurs players to perform against a League One side against Portsmouth. So I want them to perform much better than what they're doing. If you want to give Conte a chance for these players to play in the Premier League, I would want them to take. I want them to go and score a goal, take on the player, because Brian Hill, as much as he was good with the ball, he didn't have that much of. No, I'm just bringing on one player. Did not have that much of what to do in the final third. He was very weak in the final third. And for me, Ryan Sessegnon should not be in this football club. Is really horrible. He can't put in a cross in the back in the final third. His control is weak, and our defense was untested. So there's nothing much to tell over there. But Papessa was good. Papessa was good, but again, it's a League One side, so I'm not much excited. But he was good today. He was good today. But when it comes against, let's see if he's going against Arsenal or another Premier League side, then it's a different game itself. Can he do it? Can he do it against them? Can he be competitive against them, against these strong players? Then there'll be a good test. But yeah, it was a good performance. We got the win. That's the most important thing, and especially Harry Kane to get his goal. It was a wonderful strike. We can't take that on to the factor. And we're going next week against Arsenal in the NLD, and I expect us to win. I've been saying this for past 3 weeks.
What type of signing do you think Spurs need? What are Spurs missing at the
We
moment?
we need a wing back. We need a wing back for sure, a right wing back, and we need two center backs. If we can do that, then there's actually a bit of hope. We have a hope to do something because our starting 11 against Premier League sides is not good in defensively. If we have a Romero, let's say if we get I'm just giving an example. If we get a De Vrij and we get a good left-sided center back and a right wing back, then you actually have a really good core team to go in the final 6 months, and that would be really good. And I don't understand if the club really wants Pedro Porro, and I have the personal terms agreed, and you actually believe in the player. Get it done. Get it done. Just pay the release clause. If it's 45 million, pay the 45 million. I don't know what we're whinging around. We need a right wing back for sure.
So
That's
wait,
one.
answer me this quick one, Aravind. We've finally seen 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, sorry, 15 minutes of Jed Spence. Emerson Royal was playing right wing back. We had 70% share of the ball, and our defense wasn't really troubled in this game. Obviously, albeit that it was a League One game. What did you think of Jed Spence coming on?
Yeah, I feel he's bit out of confidence. He doesn't want to be here because when he had the ball, when he was in Middlesbrough, he was taking on players. I'm not sure he's still focused in what he's doing, because I agree. The problem right now is he's been played around by the club because Conte doesn't want him, but the club has bought him. So it's very harsh on him. It's very harsh to be a player like Spence because he's not getting game time. I don't know. He should. I thought he'd start today. I think so. He deserves to start against a Portsmouth side where he is given a chance. Because if Brian Hill is starting, if Pape Matisar is starting, Jet Spence should start. But I do agree of why Conte isn't starting him. I don't think so. It's nothing against him, but he just doesn't want. He wants to make a statement saying that give me my players, not what you guys are giving. So it's a bit harsh on him. It's a bit harsh on him. But I have another theory on him. I have a feeling whether Jet Spence is, because I've seen a lot of rumors before he came in. A lot of managers has talked about his attitude uh, in the training ground, and you have seen Antonio Conte, if the attitude is not correct, he doesn't give anyone a chance. So I'm not sure if there's no journalist hinting on it, but is that something that's not helping him to start against these games? Because as much as Emerson Royal or Matt Doherty are not great, these two players may show good attitude in the training pitch, which Jet Spence is not showing. So I've heard rumors about his attitude before. So that could be a reason. That could be a reason. So
Fair
there are a lot
point.
of
Fair
reasons
point.
there are a lot of reasons, because Antonio Conte starts players if their attitude and his discipline is correct, and he keeps on saying it every time. If that too is not proper, and if you don't listen to what he has done, what he does, he did it in Chelsea when Cesc Fabregas was dropped for 7 8 games, and everyone was pissed. Such a good player, but why? But he said, if you don't listen to me, if his attitude is not correct, and if you don't follow my training regime, you're not starting. So it can be, that could be a reason which people are not talking about it. If once he leaves the club, we may hear a lot of these issues, because Jet Spence has every time had an attitude issue. He's,
Quick question, Everett. Sorry to interrupt. If you said we need two centre backs and a wing back, do you think? All right, let's use today for example. Albeit it's a League One side and they're quite poor. Do you think if we had two centre backs today, like top centre backs, and we had a wing back, we would have more attacking returns? Do you think that's what would happen? Do you think we'd improve?
yeah, because Antonio Conte's system depends on the wing backs on the wing backs. I just want to just a small thing against Crystal Palace. I don't know. Matt Doherty had so much of space, but he couldn't even deliver one cross properly. If any decent wing back who has a crossing ability creates the chances, it's all dependent on the wing backs. But as much as the performance was, it was decent, it was fine, it was great. So important thing in a cup game is to get the result and go into the next round. That's what is important.
Correct.
Yeah, and we saw Aravind just touching on what you're saying about the delivery. Obviously, we've seen Perisic. You know, he had that chance. He put it on Harry Kane's head. So,
you can see what Perisic does. As much as not defensively that great, but when it comes to the final third, he's the one. He has 5 or 6 assists in the Premier League. I think so. 6 assists in the Premier League shows how Conte's system works. It's dependent on the wing backs. Is it the same in the right wing back position? No, it's not the same. It's not the same. If his system needs to work properly, he needs to have these good wing backs and good defenders. Because when you have decent defenders or good with the ball and know what they're doing, that gives a lot of freedom for Perisic, let it be Pedro Porro, any right wing back which comes into the system. When he has that core system, then it works. But if you detach that, then put some pieces around. It's not going to work.
No, absolutely, Aravind. So looking ahead to next Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to smash them. We're going to smash them. I have a feeling that
Straight, yeah.
Straight in, Aravind, with smashing them, yeah?
3-1. I like Arteta when he loses his mind. When we score the first goal and he loses his mind, that's when the game ends for them.
Okay, Aravind. Okay. Thanks for the call, man. We'll see you next time.
Big
Come
up,
on, you
bro.
Spurs.
Yeah.
Love.
Here we go. We got him back. I think he's joined from his phone now. It's Stelios.
What's happening, bro? Hear us?
I can hear you. Is this working or not?
Yeah.
Yes, it's working, man.
Yeah.
Okay, good. How you guys doing, man? You're right. Big up, Pashmatic and Nick. You good?
Thank you, bro. Love.
Yeah, we're
love.
good, man. We're good. I mean, it wasn't the best of games, but we got the result, right? So.
Yeah, stop being nice. It was shit. It was proper shit. Anyone who paid money to go and watch that, I feel sorry for you. That's why I never went today, because I knew what we were going to do today. Players are half-hearted in these games. Whenever we play a lesser opposition from a lower league, we always seem to not be up for it. Same in the European Conference League. We never seem to be at it. And it doesn't matter what manager it is, Poch, Nuno, Jose, whoever's in charge. These games, we just don't seem to motivate ourselves. And I don't know why, but I knew it was going to be a poor game. I thought we'd win maybe 3-1. I thought we'd score more goals, but that's the only thing I thought we would have done more of. But okay, look, crap game. We're through to the next round.
Don't you think it was because of quite a few of the players were changed for this game, and we've got quite a few young boys playing? I know Basuma got injured in the warm-up, and then Skip had to jump in, so we had a midfield that hadn't played together before in Skip and Sarr. And then I know, like, obviously the front three were unchanged, so that was the same, but our back three were different. So, and obviously the wing backs were a big factor the way we played. They pretty much sat behind the ball, 2 backs for 4. And Spurs aren't the best team in breaking down team. We're not really a possession side like that. So do you think that's got a factor in the way we played and in the style we played?
Ashmatic, I think it comes down to the fact that our fans, sadly, there's a section of fans at Spurs who overhype players and they think they're a lot better than what they want. Everyone was saying, "Oh, Gil Messi, Brian Hill, what an amazing pass to Kane against Crystal Palace." Well, today we played Portsmouth. What did Brian Hill do? What did the guy do? So
Yeah, end
perhaps
product.
he's not actually all that. Perhaps everyone's just jizzing in their pants because he can do a couple of step overs and he can he can find a decent pass once in a while, right? Everyone does. A section of our fan base always does this. They jump on anything to try and feel, yeah, look at this. Nah, he's an all right player. He's nowhere near the levels we need. But because he's more direct than some of the other players we've got, we hype him up. Today we played against Portsmouth.
So would
Would
you send him out on loan, or would you sell him, or would you keep him? Because at the moment it looks like we're keeping Brian Hill. So what would your option be?
Let me finish with the rest of the squad, and I'll definitely answer your question.
Okay.
Right?
Cool.
Heung-min Son today. Heung-min Son
yeah.
today. Nothing.
Yeah.
Right? But against Palace, he's back. He's broken his duck.
Yeah.
Really? Everyone got hyped after that Palace game. Skip today. The wing backs, they're awful. I'm sorry. The wing backs at this club are diabolical. I watched Emerson. I think it was the last 5 minutes. The ball's gone out wide to him. He crosses it straight into 4 Portsmouth defenders. Look up, man. Square the ball back.
But he did. But still, he did. I'm sure he did a no look pass today, and it actually came off.
Well, good. Now he's worth
my
50
chest.
million. We can sell him for 50 million, right? Yeah. But I look at the front three. Other than Harry Kane, the front three right now is dead for me. I don't think it's anything wow. You look at the midfield. There's no creativity. You look at the wide areas. Awful. I think the wide areas are terrible. And then you look at the defence. There's no ball-playing centre-backs at this club other than Romero. No one can play ball. No one can play real football as a defender at this club other than Romero. And as for Sessegnon, I know the people that scouted him. I know the scouts that run the youth academy at Tottenham. Bob Harbour's, Danny Campiano's. They wanted Sess when he was 10. They wanted Sess and his brother. The only reason Sess is at Spurs is because the club have wanted him. The club have been chasing him. And you know what? When he came in, I asked people in the club, what do you think of Sess? And they said to me, he hasn't developed the way he would have developed at Tottenham if he came to us at 10. So I'm like, so why'd you sign him? And they all go quiet because they're not allowed to speak now. So players like Sess, they're good at Fulham in the Championship, but when Fulham came up to the Premier League, they got relegated with Sess. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't blame the relegation on Sess, but mate, Ashmatic, it all comes down to ambition. What do you want as a fan, right? Do you want to win the league? Do you want to win the Champions League? Do you want to win the Europa Cup? Do you want to win the FA Cup? If the answer is yes,
that's for sure.
right? If we want to win something, we need to stop doing what we've done for the past 22 years and start raising the level of the quality of player that comes through the academy and that we sign as a transfer into the team. Change as many managers as you want. We've had them all. We've had the Redknapps, the Poches, the Mourinhos, the Conte, we've had them all, man. We've had them all. Right? It doesn't matter what manager comes into this club. And I know people will say, oh, but there's no excuses for playing rubbish today. A better manager can get a better tune out of them. I don't think they can. I think a better manager might make us pass the ball a bit better, but that'll fizzle out after 6 months. Once the honeymoon period's over and the reality that these players are bang average kicks in, we'll be back to square one again. So, for me, I just think we've got a very, very average group of players. And if you take Harry Kane out of this squad, I think we're a mid-table team. The two highlights of today, Kane and Sarr and full-time.
and you not going to the game.
That'll be free.
And me not going to the game. Look, one thing I'll say about Pape Sarr, okay? When we signed him, I'm in a group with scouts, and the Man United scouts couldn't believe we signed him. And I said, listen, I don't know who Pape Sarr is. And I spoke to them. I said, what's the shock? And they said, Man United really wanted him. Man United took a long, hard look at him. So they rated him. Now, that says to me there's probably something about this boy. And if it turns out that Pape Sarr becomes a good player, it's because we've actually scouted a good player. And I think he is a good player. Just from what other scouts said to me when we signed him. And it wasn't just the Man United scouts. They were all saying, you've got a player there. Now, it's whether we can develop him, give him the minutes, teach him the physicality of the Premier League. If we can develop him from being a kid to a man, we might have a serious player in midfield, you know? But I'm not getting all hyped up about it because at the end of the day, he is still just potential. He's no more than that. He's still just potential. Until a young player becomes like Ledley King or Harry Kane, then you're not the real deal. Can you go from potential to becoming a Kane, to becoming a Ledley King, you know, a top player? That's the aim, right?
It goes back to my question, Stel. Sorry to interrupt you, but what do we do with the young boys? Do we send the young boys out? Do we keep them, give them minutes, or do we upgrade them? It's a hard question, I know.
No. Listen, that's an easy one for me to answer. What we need to do with the young players is first of all decide what the club wants to do. What is the vision? Because Antonio Conte is telling us he wants the academy to develop players that are ready now, not for him to take potential and develop them. So there's a conflict between his vision of the academy and what the academy currently does. And then you've got Conte telling us, you know, if you want to compete, you need to buy 2 or 3 players worth 50 to 70 million pounds every window. And over time, you end up building a quality squad. But Bob's vision is not that. I mean, we're not even prepared to pay 40 million pounds for our first choice right back we want to buy tomorrow. So Conte and the club don't align. So to answer your question, Asmaik, what we do with the kids depends on the plan. But the manager doesn't agree with the chairman and the academy doesn't align with the manager. So that says to me there's only one solution. Change the manager. But I'm telling you, if we do that, bye-bye Kane, bye-bye Romero, Kulusevski's going to question his future because he's seen the best players leave. And then what? The new manager's got an absolute nightmare on his hands. And I bet you now the fans are going to turn very toxic. So what do we do with the kids? It depends what the club wants to do as a vision. But we, you know, I've heard you guys talk about it many a time. We all do. There's no plan. There's no vision. There's no idea. And you've got a manager who's about to run out. His contract's about to run out in 6 months' time. So we can play the kid, but what if he goes in 6 months? Now, you know, then what? So I don't know, Asmaik. I don't know what we do with the kids. I don't know. There's no plan. It's like you saying. It's like me saying to you, Asmatic, have you got children? And you say, yeah, I've got 2. I'm like, okay, great. What's the plan? And you say to me, well, they're going to go to school. Then after school, they're going to go to secondary school. And then we're going to see where we're at. And if they want to go and get a job, I'll help them with that. If they want to go to university, I'll do my best to support them. If they want to join the army, I'll back them, whatever. But you will tell me roughly what kind of plan you got for your kids. We can't do that. We've got no plan whatsoever for this club, like on the football pitch. And if you ask anyone who's Levy in, Levy out, Conte in, Conte out, if you ask any one of these people, what is the plan? No one's got a clue, man. Nobody.
Yeah.
What? So, Stel, this will make you laugh. I don't know whether you've seen it. Basuma got a 7 from Sky Sports for his performance today.
Oh, wow. Is that what
He
we're
wasn't
doing?
even playing.
Is that what we're doing? Yeah, we all look the same to be fair.
Good old Sky Sports. Oh, my God. Stel, looking ahead to next Sunday, what are your thoughts, man?
All right, listen. I'm not gonna.
Go on, do it.
You listen. You know me.
Do it.
You know me, right? I don't.
Do it.
I'm not one of these positive at all cost people. I say it as I see it, and you either like it or you hate it. For me, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, and people are going to probably think, shut up. But I said last year they weren't going to beat us. I said we're going to smack them, and I told everyone why, and it happened. And I'm telling you now. I said to my brother, we need Arsenal to draw against Newcastle. We need them to drop a few points because it will rattle them a little bit. And they come to White Hart Lane with a bit more pressure on their back. And we need to beat Palace. And we did. We're not going to beat Arsenal. But let me tell you something. There's no way they're coming and taking 3 points off of us. By hook, by crook, by luck, by fluke, we're gonna stink it out and get a draw. We're gonna rob a draw. We're gonna listen. My opinion, we're gonna get a draw. However, if Kulu and Bentancur are both out, as in both of them, not even one back, I think they're gonna slap us up. I think they're going to hit us for free. I think they're going to.
So Stel's back to covering all bases. If we play this way, we're going to get slapped up. If this is going to happen, we're going to win. If this is going to happen, we're going to draw.
I respect it though, because it's true.
Listen, real talk. If we don't have Benny in midfield and we don't have Kulu in the front three,
it's a problem.
They're going to rip us a new one. Yeah, it's going to be awful. But if we can get one of them back, we can stink it out and just rob a draw. And I don't think it's going to be 0-0. It's going to be 1-1 or 2-2. But I do think we'll get a draw in this game. We won't deserve it, by the way. It's not going to be this game where everyone's like, "Oh, well done, Tottenham, well deserved." We're going to walk out like, "Woo!" Oh, okay.
So because like Ben 10, Ben 10, he's the man. He's got the highest amount of interceptions in the attacking third, in the mid third, and then you've got Kulu's that's been our most productive in assisting goals. He's been our creator. He's been our most creative player. So that is a fair assessment, I think.
Yeah, I'm being positive, man. I'm being positive. We're gonna be there. Bobby K's coming over. Dan CHFC's coming over. We're little K's birthday. Come on, man. This is the North London derby. I don't give a shit about form. I don't give a crap. Whatever happens, it's the North London derby, and it doesn't matter who's top of the league, who's playing well, who's playing badly. We know that. Look, we just need to get that tifo going, and then they're going to remember last year. Oh my God! I remember last year there was that tifo.
Nick,
come on,
Stel. They weren't a good side last year, man. They weren't a good side last year.
I know, mate,
honestly.
but this is a North London derby. Come on, man.
Nick.
Form goes out the window. Come on.
They are mustard. Arsenal.
I'm not saying that they're not.
I hate them.
I'm not saying that they're not. But come on, man. Mate,
the only hope we've got is the fact that their bench looks just as bad as ours. Against Newcastle, they had no one to come off the bench. They had Tommy Arsu and Tierney, defenders. They had no one else to come off that bench and turn the game. Which is why, if we can stink it out, which is going to annoy everyone, and they're not going to want to hear that. If we go toe to toe with them, they're gonna rip us. But if we stink it out, we go defensive, and we can hold them, they won't be able to change it up. And then it's our kind of game. Now it's our kind of game. If we try and play their game, they're going to do exactly what they did to us at the Emirates. So this is why I'm saying I don't think we'll beat them, but I do think we can get the draw. I do. But it's not going to be pretty. Look,
you're going to expect a low block. Are you expecting a low block, like Conte style? Like Spurs, you know, like how we went to Emirates, we were like ultra defensive. Are you expecting like everyone to kind of push back in our own half?
If Kulu's fit, I think we're going to play like we did against Liverpool and Man City away, where we went 5 at the back, 3 in the middle, 2 at the top. Okay. That then transitions into a 3-5-2.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The thing is, right, I get why he's not playing 3 in the middle at the moment, because if you think about it, he hasn't got anyone to spare. Like, if we get one more injury or a suspension to any one of the centre mids, then we don't have any options at all, which is why he's been playing 2 in midfield the past couple of games, because Bentancur's been injured and then Basuma was suspended. So if you go with the 3, that means you've got no other midfielders on the bench. Now, if one of these gets suspended or injured, you're completely fucked. So he's trying to manage the squad. And I get that. But for some fans, they don't get it. They don't want to hear it. He's a world-class manager. It's his job to deal with it. He's meant to be a magician, a wizard, and pluck players out of thin air, pick an apple off the tree kind of thing. I get it. I understand it. I understand it, but everyone's got their opinions. Everyone's allowed to look at it the way they see it. But I just feel for this game, we sadly, and as Spurs, it's not what we want to hear. We need to be defensive. And
who's their biggest
that's
problem?
The game Arsenal don't want.
Who's the player that you're worried about most for Arsenal? Who's going to be the one that causes trouble? Partey.
Thomas Partey. Yeah, he's for me. Someone
Everyone's
needs to
raving about Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli.
What did Odegaard do against Newcastle in a low block? He didn't know what to do. Partey, he's the one. If we can, someone needs to put a real chunky tackle on him, and hopefully he wobbles or maybe goes off with a bit of a pain, because he's the one that I think really holds that team together. I think he's been brilliant for them this year. Odegaard's a magician. Like, he's been superb. He really has. But I think Partey, that experience playing at a high level at Atletico Madrid, and he's just a beast. He's like Wanyama with Techers. He's a good player, really good player.
Yeah, because even last season, he was missing at the North London derby, and obviously they got a player sent off, and that obviously we got the rub of the green that day. But this season, obviously, Arsenal are on form, and Partey will start, and he will be playing. And I even remember the other game where we played with him when he first came, and what happened? Was he off the pitch? And then we scored.
We were on the counter attack, and he pulled his hamstring as we counter attacked.
Yeah,
and then
that was it.
He was hobbling. So we got lucky there again. Look, people just need to respect Arsenal. Like, we don't like them, we don't want to see them do well, but we've got to respect. Right now, they're a very, very, very good team. And if you don't show them that respect, they'll eat you. Newcastle went there, they showed them that respect, and they just blocked them out the game. People could say that Newcastle bottled it, or Newcastle were negative. Let me tell you, they went to the team top of the league and took a point off them. No one's been to the Emirates this year and taken any points off them. So that is a blueprint. And let's be honest, the way we're playing right now, we're not suddenly going to become this magical front foot attacking team. If we get players in, slowly, we can build that. But right now, we're not that. And we just need to understand where we're at, understand where they're at. And our strength is to stink it out. Sadly, it's not the kind of football any Spurs fan wants to see. But I did a tactical analysis show earlier on in the season with Sim on Tottenham TV. And I said, look, this is how I would set up to beat Arsenal. And Sim was saying, but I think we should go 3-5. I said, listen, if we do that, we're going to get eaten. We did that, we got eaten. I understand Arsenal, and I understand where we're at. We need to go defensive, and it's not what people want. But if you don't want to lose the game, I don't see another way. Unless we get really lucky and they get a man sent off early and it tires them out and we wear them down and they haven't got subs to come on, then anything's possible. But
come on, Stel. Can't we believe a little bit that Xhaka gets sent off? Can't we? Look, Stel, when we were all sat there last year and we just before the game and we saw Romero wasn't playing and we all started getting worried. Imagine we sat there and Conte's going to play mind games with Arteta during the week. And we sat there.
I said we're going to smash them. I said all along, those kids are going to come to the stadium.
Yeah, but listen. But what I'm saying is could it be a different way? Could it be a different way this year? We're sat there, all of a sudden, Bentancur, Kulusevski is starting the North London derby. Conte's playing mind games all week saying, they're probably not going to be back. They're probably not going to be ready. Richarlison's back on the bench. Could we then sit there and go, hang on a minute. This could happen, boys. We're there. Come on, there's nothing more. I want to see, after that game, we're there with the cigars, we're there with the smoke bombs, and we're putting Don Robbie back in his box, man. Come on, man.
If anyhow we beat them, God help AFTV what I'm going to do if we beat them. Absolutely. God help every single one of them. But that's a big if, all them players coming back. I just feel like they've shown this year they can handle big moments. They went to Man United. Yeah, they lost it because Arteta tactically screwed them. but they dominated Man United. They went to Chelsea, dicked all over them. They played Liverpool at their ground, mate. They beat them as well. We went there. They smashed us. This is a different Arsenal team, but like I said to my brother, we need Arsenal to lose to drop points against Newcastle, because now it puts a bit more pressure on them coming to our ground. My prediction is 1-1. I think we're going to draw.
Okay, Stel. Well, we'll see. We'll see next Sunday. We've got, 7 days, 8 days until we're all there. All those people asking in the chat will be there. Bobby K will be there. Ben, Sim, me, Daigle, Stel, the whole crew will be there, hoping that we don't get absolutely embarrassed, because otherwise we're going missing. We're all going missing.
No, we're not.
There'll be a post-match fan show. Asthmatic's doing the show with Marlon. There'll be no callers, man.
Listen. If we get battered, we're going to be on Sky TV breaking news. There's going to be helicopters over the stadium. We're going to go and charge Lily Whitehouse. We're taking Levy out of there by the ears. Pulling him out of his office by the ears.
That's the only way he'll come out, I think.
Yeah. The only way he's coming out of that stadium, I said that, was in a box, but not from us, obviously. He ain't coming out any other way. Or someone's paying 4 million, dropping 4 billion on the table, man.
Yeah.
That's the only way. That's the only way.
I think for me, if it turns into one of those tragic games where we're just getting battered, 3-0 down. Do you remember last season we went to the Emirates, we were 3-0 down with Jose, was it? Or Nuno, we were 3-0 down at half time. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If we have one of those scenarios at our ground, I think it's going to get very, very, very toxic on the ownership very quickly. So
100%. 100%.
This is one game. Look, you know me. I'm Levy out. I'm Enoch out. I've got every argument in the book ready to hit back at anyone that tries to defend them. But if ever there's a game that I just don't want us to lose, it's this one.
Yeah.
I do not want to lose this one ever. I don't want to lose any game. But some games you're like, okay, whatever. It's Man City, or okay, we lost to Real Madrid in the Champions League. This, no. Yeah. Sorry, can't take it.
No,
can't take it.
We can't, mate. All right, big up, Stel. Thanks for the call.
Nice one, Stel, man.
And we'll see
Big
you.
up, man.
I'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah, I'll see you next Sunday. Big up Tashmatic. Big up to Nick. And Nick, I don't know what Marmite and a dog has got to do with each other, but that was some intro you tried to give me earlier.
We better ask Tommy Mitchell. He'll be able to tell us.
Bring in Tommy.
Yeah, exactly, man. Big up, man.
All right, have a good evening, guys.
Nice one.
Cheers,
Same
guys.
to you.
Is there anyone else, Vinny? No. See you later. There's no one else.
Cool.
Right, just to go round the grounds, there is a potential shock on the cards.
Oh, yeah.
Non-league Chesterfield are 3-2 up against West Brom.
Jeez.
Burnley, leaders of the Championship, are beating Bournemouth 3-1.
Nice.
Blackpool are beating Nottingham Forest as well.
Yes, there we go.
So there is some potential shocks on the cards.
Love it.
In the 3 o'clock kickoffs that are just coming into up to half time. Look, it's been a lackluster performance, but we've got the win. We're in the draw for tomorrow's game. For the fourth round draw tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Thank you to everyone that's joined us on the post-match fan show. It's been great to actually do one. Big up to you, Ashmatic. It's been a pleasure. We're 100%. Me and Ashmatic.
Likewise, man. It's been a pleasure, bro.
And Ashmatic will be here next week with Marlon for the North London Derby. Ooh. It's going to be electric. Look, the whole week is going to be building up to that North London Derby. It's going to be electric. We don't know what's going to happen. We're praying that Bentancur is back, Richarlison is back, Kulusevski is back, and then we're praying that the Tifo gets into those Arsenal players' minds, Xhaka sees red, Arteta loses his marbles, and then we come out with a win. But hey, look, whatever happens, it's going to be electric. Ben, Sim, Daigle, everyone will be here for this week with pre-match, post-match, the 5 takeaways. There may be an FPL show because I think I'm coming top this week in the fantasy league. So hopefully they do an FPL show. But look, it's been a pleasure. Look, 2 on the bounce. We go in with confidence. We have a little bit of a rest, and then all focus is on that North London derby. Ashmatic, your closing thoughts, man?
Yeah, just bring it on, man. Boys, bring it home. We need to disrupt their run. So, yeah, come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oxford United, please do something. Take some players out, get some red cards, make some injuries for some of those Arsenal players. I don't know who's going to be starting for Arsenal. Maybe they're going to have one eye on Sunday. But look, it's been a pleasure. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you to all the super chats. Thank you for liking. And yeah, all that's left to say is like, subscribe, and comment. And come on, you Spurs.